Congratulations on your new 2022 Tab 320 CSS, and welcome to the nuCamp family. Before you start your new adventures, we're going to take a look at your trailer and review the details and basic operations so you can enjoy your trailer with confidence. Let's start right up front connecting the trailer to your tow vehicle. First, lift up the handle, slide the collar back, and back the vehicle up so the ball on the hitch is directly underneath the coupler. Then lower down on top of the ball and replace the collar. Lift up on the handle, slide forward, and you'll want to be sure that these tabs go directly in the slots. Once those are in the slots, you know that you are hooked up correctly. Then attach the chains to the opposite side on the vehicle so they create an X between the trailer and the tow vehicle. Next, you're going to attach your breakaway cable. Now this has a pin on it that if for any reason your trailer gets separated from your tow vehicle when you're traveling, then it is going to lock up the brakes. You'll want to attach this at the same place that you attach the chains. Next, you will plug in the 7-way plug. Now notice there is a notch on the top, and that will fit into the notch that coincides on the receptacle on your tow vehicle. This plug provides electricity to the taillights, but also power for the electric brakes. Now you're going to have to add a brake controller to your vehicle, and that's either going to be a box under the dash or a component that goes between this plug and your tow vehicle. Either way, it is going to tell the trailer brakes to engage every time you step on the brake pedal. In addition, this plug is going to allow power to come from your vehicle when you're driving to charge your battery. Once your trailer is fully attached to your vehicle, raise the tongue jack to the highest position so that you get the most clearance. Then unpin the caster. Just pull this pin and remove the caster. You can store the caster either in the tub or in your vehicle, and remember to put it back on before you lower the tongue jack to drop your trailer. The diamond plate tub on the front will house the 5-gallon propane tank and a battery installed by the dealer. To remove this tank and refill it or replace it, if you'd like to do that at a convenience store, then you will want to be sure the tank is closed by turning it clockwise, and then disconnect right here with the green connection. There is a wing nut right here that is usually hand tight. Just loosen that, lift the tank out to refill it. Behind the propane tank is the propane regulator, and next to that, the battery cutoff switch. Now, when you see the battery in an upright position, that means the battery is engaged. And to cut it off, simply turn it a quarter turn counterclockwise, and the battery will show on its side. You only want to do that when it's in storage, because when you're traveling down the road or plugged in at a campsite, in this position, the battery will not be charging. In the tub, you will see 3 separate fuses. Now, all of these wires will connect to the battery. One of the fuses will be for the battery itself. The other 2 will be for the solar connections. This trailer has a 105-watt solar panel on the roof, and it also has a portable plug in case you want to hook up a portable solar. That's right here on the side. This is a 2-prong plug right here. Just lift the cap. You can plug in a portable solar panel here if you wanted to purchase that. In case you're in the shade, you can always use that portable solar in the sun. Now, even if you're parked in the sun, you can run both the portable solar panel and the roof panel together. That's not a problem. Now, if the portable panel that you have purchased doesn't match up to this plug, don't worry, there are adapters available online. They're easy to find and very inexpensive. The spare tire on this trailer is located right underneath the aluminum tub. To raise and lower it, just attach this to the nut in the center of your tank. In front of the wheel is the receptacle for the 30-amp shore power cord. Now, you'll notice there's 3 prongs here, and one of them is an L shape. Match that up to the L-shaped prong in the receptacle and be sure to push it in firmly, and then you should be able to do a bit of a quarter turn to secure it. Now for added security, there's a threaded collar you can attach. Behind the wheel well is the Alde vent, and next to that, the Nautilus System. Now this compartment is watertight, so sometimes these latches can be a little stiff. Inside this compartment, the first thing you'll notice is the light on the sidewall. It has two settings. One simply turns the light on. The other one is a motion sensor, and that allows the light to come on anytime you reach your hand in to access the panel. On the back wall is all of the controls, and when you want to hook up your city water that's connected to the hydrant, you'll come up through the bottom. You can see this hatch on the floor. Bring your hose up through here, slide this piece back so that the hose fits in that slot, and then you can close the hatch. You'll want to attach it right here on the right. That is your city water connection. And there is a built-in water pressure regulator, so you don't need to attach that to your hose. Above the city water connection is going to be the cable connection. If you're at a park that has cable, you connect it right there. There is an auxiliary and satellite connection that isn't being used at this time. However, if you wanted to hook up an exterior satellite, you could move the cable wiring over to the satellite and it'd go straight to the TV that way. In the center of this panel are the green and blue levers. Now those are the most confusing sometimes, but those are set according to what you would like your Nautilus panel to do. If you're using the city water right here on the right, you'll want them to look like this. If you're dry camping, you will match that picture right there. Now to fill the fresh water tank, set them this way. To sanitize or winterize, just follow the pictures. There is a water pump switch on the top left-hand corner of the panel, and there's another water pump switch on the inside of the trailer as well. Down below in the left-hand corner, there's the connection to sanitize or winterize, and a red lever on the left for bypassing the Alde system. Now these last two things will be useful when you winterize your camper, and if you want to know more about that, check the nuCamp Owner's Manual online. Just underneath here is the two black levers for the low point drains in case you want to drain all the water out of the lines in your trailer. To the right of that, you'll see the gray pole for the gray tank and the connection for your sewer hose. To dump your gray tank, simply remove the cap from the sewer hose connection and you'll see these bayonet fittings here, and that's exactly what will be on the end of your sewer hose. So replace the cap with the sewer hose by hooking those bayonet fittings right on the knobs, and be sure you turn it completely to the right so it's fully connected. Then pull the handle on the gray tank until it's emptied, and then push it right back in and replace the cap. The last thing on this side of the trailer, the outside shower. Let's open this up. There is hot and cold knobs, and then the sprayer. Now you pull the sprayer out and the tab will turn the water on. And if you push it forward, it's going to lock in place. The water will be running. To stop it, you simply have to pull back and it'll lift up again. Be sure when you replace it back into its holder that this handle isn't depressed. Let's take a look at the kitchen on the clamshell. Now first, the sink on the left has a single lever faucet, and you rotate it left to right to make the water hotter or colder, and simply lift it up to turn the water on and off. This is a good place to review the latch system on this trailer. The cabinets are going to have hidden latches, and if you pinch underneath, it disconnects it and opens the cabinet. So be sure before you travel to close this cabinet completely so it's secure. The cabinets also can have a flush latch where you depress it to open it up, and that creates a knob where you can open the cabinet. But to lock the cabinet for travel, be sure they are all pushed in and flush with the cabinet face. To operate the glass top stove, just lift up the top, and to light the burner, you'll depress the knob and turn it to light. Then, once gas is coming out, you push the sparker, and once it lights, you can adjust the temperature between high and low for whatever you need. When you're done, simply turn the burner off, and you'll want to wait till it fully cools before you lower the glass top. One more thing, to lower the glass top, be sure that you lift it up before you pull it forward. As an added safety measure, there is a safety switch added right here to the gas prop so that when your rear hatch is closed, the gas is disconnected. The microwave underneath will only run on shore power. It will not run off your battery. However, your refrigerator is 12 volt and it does run off your battery. Inside, you'll see not only the pull-down freezer, but in the back on the right, there is the controls. If you want your refrigerator to be turned off, simply set the control to 0. Once you want it to get cold, set it 1 to 5, depending on the temperature that you need. Above the refrigerator is the 110 plug and the 12 volt with the 2 USBs. Now, of course, this is battery operated. Your 110 plug, again, it would need shore power. Underneath is a gas port for any gas appliances you'd like to add. To connect, simply remove the plug and be sure this lever is in the perpendicular position. That is stopping the gas from coming through the port. Now, in that position, you'll be able to push this collar back, insert the plug, and then pull the collar back over it, and the plug should be secure. Once you get it connected, simply pull this lever forward and the gas will flow. Remember, when you disconnect, the collar will not move backwards until you put this lever in the perpendicular position. And the dust cover is inserted to keep out the road grime. When you're through with your kitchen and you're ready to travel, be sure to turn out the light, pull down the hatch, and lock both handles. The Lagun Table can be mounted on the inside or the outside of the Tab 320. Very briefly, let me show you how the handle works. There's a knob right next to the pole that tightens and loosens, of course, to tighten the pole in the position that you want it to be in. Now, the handle acts as a wrench, so when you pull it away, it can move freely, and you can drop it down wherever you need to be to either tighten that knob or loosen it. The base pole has 2 handles on it, and that's so that you can adjust the height of the table. First, you want to slide the base pole right in the back and bring it down. If you'd like the table to be higher, you can tighten this lower handle. But if you'd like to drop it down, simply lower it on the rail and tighten the upper knob. Next, you want to be sure you loosen the handle here so that that hole fits right over the bar on top of the base pole. Slides into place, and if you'd like to tighten this, simply use this handle and tighten it wherever you'd like it to stay. One more connection that can be tightened, and that is the piece right under here that allows this to swivel and the tabletop to turn. Handles at every juncture so that you can tighten this table down in the position that works for you. One last thing on the outside, there are 2 110 outlets right underneath. Now, remember that those will only work when you're plugged into shore power. Now let's head inside. On the way in, I want to point out the first safety feature. That's the fire extinguisher. Be sure to check that the yellow pointer is in the green area. That lets you know that it's fully charged and ready to operate if you need it. Above is the door lock. If you press down in the green area, that's going to open the door. But if you're inside and you'd like to lock the door, simply move that up to lock it. One more thing, there is a blackout shade to cover the window. All the windows, of course, can be covered with the blackout shade, and it's best to keep these compressed when you're traveling. At the front of the CSS, there is a nice spacious countertop with the storage underneath. This would be a great place to maybe put a coffee pot or an appliance of some kind. There is a connection spot right here where you can pop off the top, put the cord down into the cabinetry, replace this cap over the cord. And underneath, in the back left, there is a 110 plug and also the 12-volt plug and 2 USBs. Stepping into the wet bath, you'll see the sink across the back. Let's take a look at the faucet. The bar on the end is going to control the water. If you turn it right to left, again, rotating it will make it hotter or colder. Lifting it up will turn on the faucet. Pushing it back down will stop the water flow. Now this is a little bit different because this faucet doubles as a shower. If you pull it out, you've got a handheld shower, but you also, right back here behind me, have a place to lock in that shower head for a standard shower. Release it, and it slides right back in to place as a faucet for the sink. The cassette toilet is a very simple operation. On the left, you'll find a blue button. When you push that button, it is going to put water in the bowl. You'll also see 3 lights. Right now, you're only showing 1 green light. Now, those lights are going to show you how full the cassette is underneath. When you need to flush, just pull the handle down, open the valve, and the toilet flushes. Very simple operation there. The only other thing in this bathroom is going to be the light above me, which is simply a push button on and off, and the cover for the toilet paper. On the side of the bathroom wall is the Alde system controls and the Air8 air conditioner controls. Let's start with the Alde. If you turn that on, let it cycle for just a minute, and you'll see the temperature in the trailer right now. Now this top icon on the right, that is showing you that it's plugged into shore power. If you push the menu button again, that gives you the controls. Since the Alde controls not only the heat in the trailer, but also the hot water, let's start on the top. This top line is the setting for the heat in the trailer. You can raise and lower that by pushing the negative and the positive sign. The second line is the hot water system. Now you can push the plus sign and you see that that bar is halfway filled in. That shows that the hot water is running on normal mode. If you wanted to boost that because you wanted hot water quickly, you can do that by pushing this plus sign again. You see that is filled in completely, and that means it's on boost mode and it will stay there for 30 minutes before it drops back to normal mode again. However, in order to make either of these systems work, you will have to select the power source. This is the electrical power source here. The gas source is down below. If we turn on the electric power source, there's 1 kilowatt. You can hit this plus sign again for 2 kilowatts. Now the difference is 1 kilowatt is for plugging into a 110 power source. If you're doing that at your house or camping in the driveway, that 1 kilowatt will be what your system can manage. If you're plugged into a 30 amp at the campsite, boost it up to 2 kilowatts for more power. If you decide you'd like to run the system on gas, push the little gas symbol here, and now you have it running on gas. We have both the electric and the gas selected, but your system cannot run on both gas and electric. It's going to choose one. Which one is it going to choose? That depends on how you have the system set. So let's take a look at that. If you hit settings right here on the right, most of these icons that you see are for the brightness in the screen, a night mode, maybe setting some parameters on when it comes on and goes off, the timers. But this prio in the top right-hand corner is what prioritizes if you're running it on electric or gas. Right now, it is set to prioritize electric. That means that if you have electric and gas chosen, it's going to run on electric. If for some reason you don't have electric power, it will move over and run on gas. So remember that if you choose both, it's going to choose the first of what you prioritized and then move over to the second. Down below, the Air8 is what controls your air conditioner. Again, a lot of icons, but simple to use once you understand what they mean. To turn on the aerate controls for the air conditioner, just use the center icon, push that, and it's going to tell you the temperature in the trailer at this moment. Now, this icon right here, the snowflake, is telling you that it is on air conditioner mode. There are 3 different modes, and you change it by pressing the triangle. That's fan mode, and that is dry mode. The dry mode is there for simply removing condensation, but it doesn't cool the trailer. The other thing about the dry mode is that it only works on low fan speed. On the air conditioner mode or the fan mode, you have a choice of low, medium, high on your fan. Okay, so to change modes, you press the triangle here and you can go through the modes. Down here below is the fan speed, and there is the icon for the fan speed right there. There are other combinations that you can do to set the date, the time. There's even a timer on this, different functions, a night mode. That can all be done by looking in the manual and seeing the combination of buttons to push to get those settings. But those are the main settings that you will need to operate the air conditioner. Near the ceiling to the left of these controls is an air conditioner duct. Now there's 3 of these. One is in the center under the dinette. The other one is at the end of the dinette near the door. Be sure you check all of those to be sure they're open. If they're closed and your air conditioner is trying to push air through, they can make some interesting noises. This is a 12-volt Jensen television. The bungee cord is to hold it in place when you're traveling. Once you undo the bungee cord, this is going to swivel in any direction that you need it to go to see from either seat. Before you travel, remember to reattach this bungee cord so the TV stays securely against the wall. These dual pane windows are so versatile because you can open them wide like I have it now, or release the knob right here and actually set this at any angle you'd like. Just tighten the knob whenever you get it in the position you'd like for it to stay in. There's a screen that pulls down from the top and can clip in, or you can pull the blackout shade from the bottom. Now you can also set it partially, of course, so that you have a little bit of air in the top and some privacy on the bottom half. Just pull this tab out to disconnect these, and be sure when you're traveling that both sides of this screen are in the compressed position. There are 2 ways to latch the window. First, you see the slot right in the middle of the bar. If you pull the window and put it right in the slot, then that leaves a crack between the window and the seal. There is a little airflow through here, and that is great if you're getting a lot of condensation inside, or you simply just want a little bit of air coming in, but to have your window latched. The other way to do that, of course, is to pull it all the way in front of that bar. That is the way to travel. If you have it latched in that center slot, air can come in and can damage your window when you travel. So be sure to check your windows, be sure they're fully latched before you head out. Just above me is the stereo that is an AM/FM, Bluetooth, and has the USB and the HDMI port. On the ceiling in the center of the cabin, there's a power fan. First thing you want to do is unlock it right here. Turn that knob in the unlock position and open up the top. Once the cover is open, you'll need to select whether you want it to pull air in or out. It is a reversible fan, so it can go either way. Once you make that selection, you simply come over and decide whether you want it to be on 1, 2, or 3. What you want to remember is that if you reverse the fan while it's running, you might blow the fuse. If that happens for any reason, the fuse is right here. Simply unscrew this, put a new glass fuse in, and screw it right back in, and the fan will operate like normal. There's a thermostat on this fan. If you would like to set that to come on, if at some point it gets too hot or too cool in here, just adjust this knob until it's at the setting that works for you. Once again, before you travel, be sure that you lower the cover all the way down and turn the knob to the locked position. Moving down to the floor, Below the seating, a 12-volt plug with USBs. This is the carbon monoxide LP detector. Now this detector is wired directly to the battery in the trailer. If that battery gets low, it will start chirping and you'll hear a beep every 30 to 45 seconds. That simply means the battery is getting low and the LP detector can't operate as it's designed. If it is going off continuously, then it is sensing something in the air. Now it could be an aerosol or a smell that isn't dangerous, but you will want to investigate and be sure. Next to that is the 110 plug, and it does have the GFI reset on it. So if your plugs quit working, try resetting it right here with the red button. Next is the converter. Now that is going to convert the shore power to battery power. And it's also going to charge your battery when you're plugged in. If you push the top of the panel, it opens easily. And over here are the breakers that are connected to your shore power 110 system. You can see the details of what each breaker is connected to here. And on this side, the fuses that are connected to your 12-volt system. If you find that you're having electrical issues, this is a great place to start. Check your breakers and your fuses. In the center is the vents for the AC and the Lagun bracket, of course, for the table that we demonstrated outside, and the air conditioner duct. Two more outlets I want to mention. Right underneath these cabinets, there is 12-volt plug-in and two USBs on this side and the 110 plug on the other. In the driver's side rear corner, if you remove the cushion and lift up on the panel, you will see the back of the Nautilus system, the water pump, and the edge of the Alde. Right next to the water pump, you can see this clear cap right here, and from time to time you might want to remove this clear cap, clean the filter underneath, and replace it. A very simple maintenance thing to do. Now let's talk about the Alde system. First, I want to show you how to adjust the water temperature. If the water is too hot or too cold coming out of your faucet, there is an adjustment you can do right here under this panel. With this red cap with the triangle on the top, pops right off, and you flip it over and you use that triangle as a wrench. It fits right down here on the top, and you turn it counterclockwise to make the water hotter and clockwise to make it cooler. After you've made the adjustment, flip it back over and pop it right back into place. In the Alde system, there is a pressure relief valve, and it can act as a low point drain to drain the water in the Alde system if you're trying to remove all the water from your system to keep it fresh or to winterize. Let me show you where that is, but I'll tell you it's very difficult to get it on camera. So if you look this way, it is directly under where my finger is pointing on the very base. It's got a yellow handle, and if you get just in the right position, you can reach beneath it, flip it up as a low point drain to drain that Alde system. One more thing I want to show you on this Alde system, in case the fuse needs to be replaced because the control panel has gone dark. What you need to do is to remove this bar. Now it's just sitting in here, there are no screws. So lift it up and just pull it out. Pull up the black panel, it'll pop out of place. There is a green fuse housing right here. Just remove this, and you see that glass fuse right there. Alde provides you with spare fuses right here in a baggie underneath this panel. So use one of these to replace it with, and then simply reattach it right here, snap it into place. This cover easily drops right back down, and you'll be good to go. To make the bed in the CSS, you grab the arched panel in the front of the seating and pull it straight into the middle. That brings the slats out. Just pull the cushions as well, and they're going to lay down flat. Do the same thing on this side. The back section, just pull the cushions over to give you the full-size bed. To the right of the entrance door is the monitor panel. Now that's going to tell you how much liquid you have in your tanks and how much power you have in your battery. So on this left side, you'll see the tank levels from empty to full, the battery power from low to fully charged. And if you press the corresponding button on the right-hand side, this will light up accordingly. so you have a gray tank. The second button's not in use. The third one is fresh, and the fourth button is your battery. Now keep in mind that when you press the battery button and you're plugged in to shore power, it's always going to read full. So that's not really a true reading. If you want to know exactly how much power is in your battery, then unplug from shore power and push that button again. Okay, there's buttons underneath here. Water pump on the left, porch light on the right. The bottom left says sink light. Well, in the CSS, you don't have a sink, so it's referring to the indirect lighting above this cabinetry in the front. The other switch is going to be the accent light, and of course that's going to be in the seating area. Below the monitor panel is the smoke alarm. Now this isn't wired directly to the battery. It has a 9-volt in it, so you might want to carry an extra one in case that gets low. It will chirp every 30 to 45 seconds if that battery gets low. And there is a test button right on the front, and we always recommend that you test it every time you go camping. Just like the screens on the window, there is an additional screen that covers the door. It does have a magnet on it. Be sure you compress it back into the rail before you shut the door. All of the appliances we've talked about here will have their own operation manuals and warranty information in the black nuCamp bag that comes with your trailer. The owner's manual from nuCamp, however, is found online for easy reference, and that's at nucamprv.com/documents. If you have more questions that we haven't covered here, feel free to reach out to your dealer for more assistance. Again, congratulations on your new Tab 320 CSS. We are so glad to have you as part of the nuCamp family. And from all your friends here at nuCamp, we wish you many great adventures.